There's going to be plenty of freezing temperatures, a wide swath from the Cascades and parts of the desert southwest to the western Great Lakes region. But it's going to get mild throughout the Great, throughout the Gulf Coast, to the Ohio Valley, and throughout much of the East Coast, but all the way up until Boston. For Wednesday night, wild, your temperature reading will be right around the freezing mark. Still plenty of warmth still ongoing throughout parts of the East Coast, but from Philadelphia all the way to Boston and Albany, mild conditions, as well as for folks throughout the Western Gulf and as well as the West Coast. Plenty of warmth throughout parts of the desert Southwest. Freezing temperatures only limited to the Rocky Mountains, but there's a lot of freezing air from places like the Dakotas to Minnesota, the upper Mississippi Valley, and northwestern part of the Great Lakes region. That includes you, Wild. Now let's take a look at the dew point. Let's see, dew point wise, Wild, your dew point values. Oh boy, yeah, it looks like your dew point values are going to be right around the freezing mark. So that means that you'll definitely feel some overcast skies to foggy conditions there. For folks in the U.S., there's a lot of humidity throughout the Gulf Coast, but some humidity would spread all the way to the Great Plains and the mid-Mississippi Valley and parts of the southeast. Still a little bit of some moisture that's going to be in Arizona all the way to western Oregon. Let's take a look for folks for tomorrow night. Wild, your dew point values would still be there, but which means that you get some clouds. Some clouds. There's going to be a lot of humidity heavily concentrated throughout the Gulf Coast, but then it'll remain in places like the central part of the country, to the Ohio Valley, and parts of the southeast, desert southwest, well, California and Arizona still getting some moisture. Now, what about for Tuesday morning? Well, your temperatures, the dew point value, because of the dew point value, you're going to get some overcast conditions to possible fog, to some patchy fog. Now, for folks in the U.S., there's plenty of moisture throughout the Gulf Coast states, parts of the rest of the South, though, except for western Texas. Moisture will linger throughout the mid-Mississippi Valley to the Ohio Valley, the southern Great Lakes region, and just a tiny bit still left over in parts of California and Arizona. Well, by Tuesday night, your dew point values would remain somewhat the same, but some clouds will be there. And we do have plenty of humidity still ongoing throughout the south, but western Texas and western Oklahoma, dry air moves in. But yeah, all that moisture will move on towards places like the Great Lakes region and moving eastward and affecting places like the New York City area, Boston, Washington, D.C., and others. A few places with some humidity throughout the Central Valley, California, and southern Arizona. By Wednesday morning, while your dew point values go way down, which means that cold and dry air starts moving into your area, dude. Folks in the U.S., only the coastal areas of the Gulf Coast plus Florida and the East Coast will definitely get moisture, a lot of it, and as well as for folks in some parts of the Ohio Valley, to the eastern part of the Great Lakes region, a little bit throughout to the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest. Still has some moisture. Now let's take a look for Wednesday night. By Wednesday night, there's going to be a lot of moisture heavily concentrated throughout places all over the East Coast as dry air moves in, and still some moisture in some parts of the West Coast. While for you, you're getting dew point values that are dropping, which means that you'll have a fairly good amount of sunny skies, or at least some partly cloudy skies. Well, we'll take a look at it in just a few moments. Cape. Okay, Cape, there's plenty of Cape. Southern Texas, southern Florida. A little bit in the Pacific Northwest to the southern plains and parts of the Northeast and the mid-Mississippi Valley and parts of the Rockies and Desert Southwest and a few places in the Great Basin, though. Let's take a look at the Cape in places like the Gulf Coast, and a few tiny bits of Cape will be in the southern plains, western part of the Great Lakes region, upper Mississippi Valley, northern Rockies to parts of the Great Basin, and as well as the coastal part of the Pacific Northwest. Tuesday morning, plenty of Cape throughout the lower Mississippi Valley to the Texas coastline, as well as parts of Florida. Tiny bits of convection from California to the Great Basin, Rocky Mountains, northern plains, southern plains, western Great Lakes region. Tuesday night, plenty of Cape throughout the Gulf Coast. Tiny bits Cape overall throughout much of the central part of the U.S., plus a few places in central Canada. Now we take a look at Wednesday morning. Still plenty of Cape in South Florida, southern tip of Texas, and a few parts in the central Gulf. And tiny bits of Cape located throughout much of the Mississippi Valley, the Great Lakes region. And finally, Wednesday night, plenty of Cape throughout parts of Florida. And moving up the East Coast towards New Jersey and parts of the New York City area to the Outer Banks, Carolina coastline. A few bit of convection throughout the Ohio Valley, Great Lakes region, upper Mississippi Valley. In your area, wild, but what difference would that make? But in all seriousness, we'll take a look at the precipitation in just a moment. Just give me a moment. I need to have a quick sip. Alright. Now, let's play the radar, folks. So, what's going on right now? let's play the radar. So this is what's going on right now. Now we play the radar going into tomorrow morning. All right. So basically, there's still going to be some storms throughout Texas, lower Mississippi Valley to the central Great Plains region. Some coastal and valley rains in the Pacific Northwest, and even mountain snow from the Cascades all the way to the northern Rockies. Though depending on the temperature profile, a few showers in some coastal areas of New England, all the way to the eastern end of Long Island. And some rains in some places. Other places, wintry weather, some in the form of snow or ice. Nothing for you while going into the afternoon hours of tomorrow and into tomorrow evening, where we do see some storms that are on the move. But yet we do see some severe weather that's going to move into the Mississippi Valley. Some showers moving into places like Wisconsin and Michigan. Some wintry weather and some warm weather would move out of the northeast. Coastal and valley rains and mountain snow in the Pacific Northwest on the coastal side and up in the mountains. But the northern Rockies all the way to the Dakotas, some places will get some snow, other places maybe ice or even rain. Florida is going to get some showers. Then going into the overnight hours and into Tuesday morning, in which we'll end up having more storms moving into places like the Ohio Valley, the Southeast, Chicago, Indianapolis, the Ohio, Cincinnati to Cleveland, parts and just south of Detroit, and there will be more rain throughout the upper peninsula of Michigan to Minneapolis. Snow will blanket throughout much of North Dakota and parts of South Dakota, in northwestern Minnesota, eastern Montana. Some snow in some parts of the Rocky Mountains from Montana to Colorado. Then going into the afternoon hours and into the evening hours, in which case we will see all those storms moving towards the East Coast, and that includes the New York City area, all the way down to Washington, Boston. You're about to get hit in the overnight hours, all the way down to New Orleans, and in the upper Mississippi Valley, some places will get rain, other places, as you go way up north, it'll get snowy, and the Dakotas will get a lot of snow, though, and northern Michigan, too. Wild, you do have plenty of snow that's going to happen throughout Tuesday. Like I said, get those shovels ready. And as well as other things that you need to do in order to keep warm, like warming your car, and as well as other things. Like de-icing and, let's see, yeah, putting salt on pavement in order to avoid in order to avoid slipping on the ice, because black ice can happen. Coastal and valley rains and mountain snow in the Pacific Northwest. Southern tip of Texas and parts of Florida will get some showers, but then going into the overnight hours, in which case there's going to be some more showers and storms throughout some places along the East Coast, from Florida to Maine, but northern Maine will have some ice, and a few places will get some snow. Rains would happen in parts of Michigan, other parts we get snow, including western Wisconsin to Minnesota. It'll turn to snow. Much of the Rockies will get some snow, all the way from Colorado to Montana. Coastal rains in the Pacific Northwest. When you go up in elevation, there could be some snow. Southern tip of Texas will get some rain, and southern Florida. But then you move on throughout the afternoon hours and into 7 p.m., in which case there's going to be some showers still lingering throughout the Northeast, The Great Lakes region will get snowed, and the Northern Rockies too, but a few places will get rain. Plus, parts of the